Okay, this is going to be a quick video tutorial on how we set up our campaigns in OptInMonster. So let's go ahead and head over to OptInMonster and we'll log in, create campaign. Now, as you can see, first we need to select our campaign type. Campaign type is how the user is going to be displayed the opt-in. So as you can see here, you have a light box, there's a slide in, a floating bar, mobile pop-up, inline, sidebar. So this one works on both mobile and desktop. So if I'm going to do kind of a site-wide, okay, after X amount of seconds or on exit intent, I want to try to grab somebody's attention to get them to opt in, I can create this and I know it's going to work on mobile and desktop, while these other ones won't. So I typically go with full screen. I've been using entrance lately. I think it's real clean. Canvas is a great option if you're doing paper lead sites. So if you're trying to drive a phone call and you want to be able to catch that person's attention, so say after X amount of seconds, I know they've been reading the article, I want to show an ad or an image that says, hey, have more questions, call us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 phone number, and we can help you right now. This allows you to kind of reach out, try to grab their attention, and generate that phone call instead of waiting for the person to decide if they're going to dial the phone. So Canvas literally gives you a blank canvas. Create your own image and ad. You drop it in there, and then it's going to be displayed based on the rules you set. So for this, we will use entrance because this is the one I've been liking lately. We'll say marketer test. Okay, as you can see, we're in setup to start. This is all inline editing, which is pretty awesome. We could just say something, join the club today. And you can see they have their text in there. All inline, super easy to edit. So here we have our title. Here, if you haven't added your website in here already, you can. It's just click the button below and it'll get added. Cookie duration, 30 days on the display cookie. So if a user sees the opt-in, they're going to get a cookie which will time out after 30 days. Because you don't want this person being bombarded by opt-ins on every page that they're reading. Now this may be too long. Maybe after a week you want to try to get them to opt in again. That's your choice. So we could set this to 7 days. The success cookie is going to be after someone is opted in and you've added them to your list. Don't try to get them to opt in again for this many days, which it's defaulted to a year. Cross subdomain cookies is going to be, so say you have store.mysite.com and www.mysite.com. You want to be able to persist the cookies across the domains so that someone's not on the store already opted in and then they're on your actual site and they're getting hit with opt-ins as well. Powered by link, love OptInMonster, but I typically turn this off because I don't want my users to get shiny object syndrome and say, oh, what's OptInMonster, and start clicking through. So that's about it for this setup. Opt-in now. So we can switch our theme here if we want to. You have a few different fields that you can add. We have the name field, the phone field. We'll add them just so you can see them. Now some of these you may need, some of these you may not. If we're just trying to get email, then email's in there. If you want to personalize your autoresponder series, you're going to want to have name in there. Then you can also edit the color of the button, the border of the button you'll want to edit as well. You can change the text as well. All super simple and very customizable. Privacy statement, if this is cold traffic, they're not familiar with you yet, you may want to add a privacy statement that just lets them know, hey, we're not going to spam you. Here you can edit the background, set the transparency. If this is being displayed over your website, depending upon the transparency, they'll be able to see through back to your website, so it's not like, hey, they've redirected you somewhere. And then custom CSS down at the bottom. Next we have the yes no. This is great for getting a micro commitment in the beginning. Instead of just hitting someone with a, hey, give me your information. If you got a really great lead magnet, whether it's, hey, give you 50% off something, just enter your email address, maybe that's fine. But if you're just trying to get someone's email to sign them up for the newsletter, maybe you enable the yes no, which allows them to, they don't know if they're going to have to provide information. So even with a 50% discount, they may think, hey, just click this button and I'll get the code. They've made a commitment. They've started down the process of committing to what you want. They've said yes. Once you click that, then it's going to show them the email information. So again, all of this customizable. Display a no button. You can only have the yes button, but no button at least gets them out of there. And again, very customizable template, namespace, custom CSS. Now we have success. And the success theme, this is just what's going to be displayed after someone opts into your list and enters their information. Now you may want to, you can redirect them to a separate page. You can just display something. Again, you can edit this right in line here. Maybe you want to put a link to a download of the lead magnet that you've offered them. Maybe there's a link to a separate affiliate offer, whatever it may be. You can actually switch the theme. There's Canvas default. Again, with Canvas, you can put in your own HTML. And then there's the custom CSS. And the success triggered script is where you can put your tracking pixels. So whether it's an AdWords pixel, Facebook pixel, this will, if you're doing a campaign and you want to track conversions or completed registrations, this is where you can place that. So it'll fire this off once success has gone through. Okay, display rules. This can get a bit complicated. So what we want to do is each display rule, it's kind of like a routing table where it's going to go from top down to see what the first one is that it matches. So we'll have a mobile rule set. We'll also have the monster link rule set. We'll have the on exit intent rule set. Okay. So in our default rule set, we're going to say after 10 seconds, we want any person on any page to be displayed the opt-in. Now, because this campaign type does allow for both mobile and desktop traffic, we need to define separate rules for that. So we're going to say is on a desktop, and this is going to be our desktop rule set. Okay. Next, we're going to do something similar. So we're going to again go 10 seconds, and this is going to be is not on a desktop, which will then include a phone and a tablet. So after 10 seconds, if they're on their phone, and maybe on a phone you want to set it to 5 because people have less attention span on their phones, you can set it however you want, but we do need a separate rule set for this. So then, monster link, we're going to turn this on. This is going to, whether these are on or not, this is going to override all the other rules in the rule set. We'll copy the monster link code. All this is going to give us is just an anchor tag that's pre-filled in. It's going to have exactly this. So as we can see, you can change obviously the click me, but you could embed this in an email. You could do whatever. You could have it on your website. This is actually going to take them to the campaign page on OptInMonster. What you can also do though, this is kind of tricky. If you take the class in the data opt-in slug and you just append that to any anchor tag on your page, that's what they queue on in order to fire the opt-in. So it's looking for all anchor tags on your page where the OptInMonster code's installed. And if it has these two things in it, it's going to fire it off for you. So if you want to have a link in somewhere in your text, so an in-context link, that you want to trigger your opt-in. Now obviously that link is not going to then browse to the page that the link would normally be set for, but if you want to use it as clickbait or whatever, this allows you to trigger an event or have an event that you can key on, which would be a link click that will then render or show your opt-in. So kind of cool. And the last one on exit intent. So we are going to remove this. We're going to say yes if the user tries to get away. So it takes they're on a desktop. There's no exit intent on mobile, but if they're on a desktop and they try to browse up to X out, you've probably seen this in sites you've been in. If they try to browse out of the view area, then it's going to pop up automatically and try to get their attention and keep them from leaving. So those are our rule sets. Integrations. Here's where you can integrate with just about any of the autoresponders. You can ActiveCampaign, Aweber. As you can see, there's a whole laundry list. Drip. So we typically use either Drip or Aweber. Integration process is super easy. One thing you need to know about Aweber is that because OptInMonster uses the API and not a web form to post the emails to Aweber, Aweber will not allow you to turn off the double opt-in. So anything that's posted to Aweber via the API, you have to request to support to have the double opt-in turned off. Whereas like with Drip, you can just turn that off yourself. That was kind of a gotcha that I had to deal with. I was wondering why I was still getting double opt-ins when I was testing. But it wasn't happening when I was using ClickFunnels, which ClickFunnels integrates with their Aweber's web forms. So little gotcha there that you can look out for. Super simple to set up. Select your provider, select your campaign. Yeah, it's easy. Google Analytics. This is where you can integrate it with Google Analytics. This allows you to have the to see how many times the campaign has been displayed, how many times the campaign actually had somebody fill it out, and then thus give you a conversion rate. Because obviously every page view isn't going to have the opt-in displayed, so page view to conversion isn't going to be an accurate number. So you want to see opt-in view to conversion will be an accurate number, and then you can actually split test to see, change your headline, turn the yes, no on and off, change your text to see what's going to get you the highest conversion rate. Once we have all this set, we just go to publish. It's as simple as clicking live. Then we need to obviously install it on our website. They do have a WordPress plugin, which there is a link in the article as well. This is the shareable monster link that you can put in an email or put in the footer of your email or whatever you want. Any website is just going to give you the embed code that you need to embed in just before the closing body tag on your website. And that is it. Now this campaign would be live and we could browse to, once it's installed, we could browse to a site, and then we need to be able to test to make sure that our display rules are working correctly. One thing you also need to remember is once you're doing that, because there are cookies being placed in the browser, if you see it once and then you try to go in and test again, it's obviously not going to display because you received the cookie already. Now, opening a new incognito tab, here's another little gotcha. If you have multiple incognito tabs open, those cookies persist across incognito windows. So even if they're separate windows and not tabs, just because you close out an incognito window and open a new one, if you have another incognito open, it's going to persist those cookies. So in order to accurately test, you need to make sure you close out all your incognito tabs, open up a brand new one, which will give you a fresh start, and then you can test rule sets again. And that's about it. That's how we set up our campaigns on both our pay-per-lead sites, our affiliate sites, and actually on MRKTR.io. So thanks a lot.